She said, I'm making a pros and cons list about our relationship, then asked me to leave the room. I told her, take your time. So I made my own list too. Mine had just one word, the note she found when she finished hers. I came home Thursday at 6:15 p.m. to find my girlfriend of 3 years, sitting at our dining table with her MacBook, a leather journal, and 3 different colored highlighters, spread out like she was preparing for the bar exam. We need to talk, she said without looking up. I've been doing a lot of self-work with my therapist. Dr. Reynolds suggested I make a comprehensive pros and cons list about our relationship to examine whether we're compatible long-term or if I'm just comfortable. 3 years living together, 18 months talking about getting engaged, and she needed a list. I need you to leave for the evening. Go to your brother's. I need complete space to process this without any external pressure on my decision-making. She wanted me to leave our apartment so she could evaluate whether I was worth keeping. Take all the time you need, I said. I drove to the coffee shop down the street, sat in my car for 15 minutes, staring at the steering wheel. Then something clicked, cold and clear. I opened my phone notes, created a new list titled Pros and Cons of This Relationship, typed one word, done, screenshot it, drove back to the apartment, let myself in quietly. She had AirPods in, totally absorbed, classical music playing. She'd lit her focus candle. This was a whole production. I packed a duffel bag, clothes, toiletries, laptop, important documents. The lease agreement was there too, signed by me. She'd never been added because she never provided pay stubs for the landlord's application. I airdropped the screenshot to her laptop, left my keys on the kitchen counter, walked out. My phone started buzzing at 9:23 p.m. Her, where are you? I'm done with my list. We need to talk. Her, this is really immature. I'm trying to do healthy relationship work and you're sabotaging it. I turned off my phone. Friday morning, 31 texts. Her best friend sent 4 messages about how I'd abandoned her. Her mother called my desk phone at work. My daughter called me sobbing. You walked out on her for trying to work on your relationship by making a pros and cons list about whether I'm good enough while I waited in exile, I said. Her dad called during lunch. She has nowhere to go. She has parents, I replied. The apartment's in my name. She's not on the lease. Her therapist emailed me directly offering a joint session to help process the rupture. I deleted and blocked it. That evening, she was waiting at my brother's place. We need to talk. You don't get to just end 3 years like this. You were literally about to end 3 years with a list. I just beat you to it. I wasn't going to end it. I was trying to understand it better. What was on the cons list? I asked. She hesitated. You're too comfortable. You don't push yourself. You've been in the same job for 3 years without trying for promotion. What else? You don't make enough money for the lifestyle I want. I make $73,000 a year and I want a nice house, yard, kids, good schools. Your salary won't cover that. What was the third one? You're too settled. You don't want to travel or have adventures. You're boring. I nodded slowly. So I don't make enough money. I'm not ambitious and I'm boring. How many pros? 11. 11 pros, 3 cons, and you needed 4 hours alone to figure out if I was worth keeping. Her face crumbled. You're making it sound worse than it was. Because your friend from college just got engaged and he's a lawyer and they're buying a house, she admitted. And I started thinking about whether she stopped, whether I could give you that, I finished, whether I was successful enough, rich enough, exciting enough. Sunday, I told her to come get her belongings. She showed up with her parents, her best friend, full intervention squad. Her dad started, she needs to get her belongings. She's been living here over a year. She's not on the lease. She's a guest who overstayed her welcome. I started packing boxes. She followed me to the bedroom. What were the cons? I asked again. She finally told her family everything. Not ambitious enough, doesn't make enough money, too boring. Her best friend stared at the floor. Her mom looked uncomfortable. Her dad opened his mouth and closed it. They loaded her car in silence. At the door, she said, the list had 11 pros and only 3 cons. You were still winning. This isn't a competition, and you don't get to grade me. Changed the locks the next day. Got a demand letter from her lawyer. $7,950 for household expenses, emotional distress, therapy costs, and a written apology. My lawyer laughed. She has no case. Ignore it. 2 weeks later, a guy named Tyler called me. I'm seeing your ex. We've been dating for 3 weeks. She told me you guys broke up 6 months ago and you were abusive, but the timeline doesn't match. When did you actually break up? 5 weeks ago. She's been asking about my salary, my job title, my 5-year plan. Real intense for a few dates. How much do you make? $110,000 base plus stock options. You're the upgrade. You make more than I do. She's shopping. Not anymore. Thanks for being straight with me. He texted later. I broke up with her. She called me immature. The harassment stopped after that. She's back on dating apps with a filter. Men making $100,000 plus.